A new product from Apple is always an event, and this time around there are 3 new Macintosh computers. Here to show them off is Karen Ebert, Apple Product Manager. Seymour.
Karen, these 3 beautiful machines, what's the difference between them and how do they relate to the home market?
Well, we see all 3 of these new Macintoshes as fitting into the home market as well as in schools and businesses. We don't believe that one size fits all, so we think all of them will be very useful. Starting on the left is the Macintosh Classic. That is the most affordable Macintosh we've ever offered, and it starts for $9.99 retail price. It's a complete redesign of our most popular Macintosh SE with the same level of power. Then in the middle is the Macintosh Lc. That's the lowest cost color Macintosh, and it's modular. You have a choice of monitors, and we have built-in monitor support. All you need to do is plug in the cables and you're ready to go. Actually,
what's the price level at the LC?
That's $24.99, and that monitor on top is one of the new monitors we've just introduced. Then on my right is the Macintosh IIsi. That's the most affordable Macintosh 2 we've ever offered, and the Macintosh 2 line is our highest performance, most flexible line of computers.
And the price point is about where on the
That is
IIsi?
$37.69 suggested retail price.
Now, the first thing I notice, obviously looking at these things, Karen, is there's this peculiar little thing hanging on the monitors of the 2 color versions, the LC and the IIsi. What is that?
That's right. From the start, all Macintoshes have been able to speak to you because they have built-in speakers. Now you can speak back. We have built-in sound input, and those are actually microphones, so you can add your comments to spreadsheets, word processing documents, and other types of applications.
So these Macs come standard with a microphone?
The LC and the IIsi do, and the software has a sound input, so you can take advantage of that on all Macintoshes.
Show us on the LC how you would use that.
Sure thing. This happens to be an address stack that will ship with all these products. So let's say I'm a small business at home and I want to store all my clients' names. Now, one thing that I can't do today is pronounce last names, and sometimes I have problems remembering. So I'll go in here to a new audio palette, which lets me actually record and do basic audio editing. And I'll bring that up and say, hopefully right, Stuart Chaffee.
Okay.
Did I get
got
that?
It right.
So now that waveform, if I play it back, is Stuart Chaffee. Now I don't really need to save the Stuart part, so I can go up here now and actually cut sound like I've done in the past with text and graphics.
So you're just going to edit the piece of sound.
So I'll cut that out and say OK, and now when I play it back, Chaffee. And then I can go ahead and close this. And yes, I want to save it. I'll give it your initials, and that will save it in there. So we think that sound will be a very powerful form of communications on Macintoshes.
So that's a piece of sound that's now on that card in that stack.
That's right, and there's the icon. Now I can move that around anywhere in the stack, and I'll leave it here so when I click on it, Chaffee, I can remember that from now on.
Show us quickly what's on the IIsi, Karen.
Okay, we think all of these Macintoshes are very powerful and can run databases in the home. Let's say you're a business and you're trying to store your information. Here, for example, you could be a realtor or a builder and want to have properties stored on here. So I can click on a particular property that I'm interested in, and what it will bring up is very vivid color pictures of the property, the floor plan, as well as information about it. These 2 systems have 256 color support built in, so you can get very realistic pictures.
Karen, now Apple has a lot of history in the 2 line, of course, in the education and school market. And I know you have something on the LC, which is kind of neat. I'd like to see that's really designed for that part of the home market.
That's right, and in fact, we have a new Apple II card that we will sell for the Macintosh LC that lets you take all your Apple IIe software and run it on the Macintosh LC, because we feel very strongly for those people in the past who had...
What are we hearing here, Karen? You're getting upstaged by some music.
Okay. This is Peter Rabbit by Beatrix Potter, and it's running on a Macintosh, and you can listen to the entire thing now.
Now, my dears, said old Mrs. Rabbit one morning, you may go into the field or down the lane.
Oh, I want one.
You can
now,
also,
can you play with it, sort of HyperCard style?
Sure, you can click on it. There's an ear. So it's a great program for kids to learn how to read. And here's an apron or Mrs. Rabbit. And I think this is Peter.
Peter.
Yeah. So we think that we'll reach many more people with all of these Macintoshes in the home market.